a really juicy topic for us today in Musings. And the topic is willingness. Now, if there's something that you would like to do, maybe drink more water or exercise or produce a website, or doesn't really matter, and you're not doing it, most often people think the next subject is, why are you resistant, right? You would like to do this. So the topic we covered really in an interesting way, I thought, and what in Glimpses last Monday, which was the 3rd of June, if you want to look it up in past Glimpse meetings, you can sign up for free to get the link to all of the glimpses. But if you are not doing what you thought you were willing to do, now the trick is to realize it was a thought, and to give you the exact experience I would like you to have. Think of willingness to better a relationship. Think of somebody who you have a sticky relationship with, or you may not even be speaking to this person. You may have gotten out of touch, but when you think of them, it feels a little sticky. There is unresolved stuff there. And you ask yourself, am I willing to resolve this? You might say yes and be very sincere. And what if next you thought, well, but what if they still are unwilling? Or, but what if they talk in that loud voice that's so scary that shuts me up? Or what if they aren't willing to talk about what happened? Can I do this myself? All these what ifs chip away at that believed thought that you were willing. So are you willing? Are you unwilling? Which is it? Well, it's neither. The secret to really a game changer is the word ambivalence. Ambivalence is feeling two ways at one time. I would like to solve this, and I would prefer not to solve it if all the things are the way they used to be, or what ifs, or really all of my qualifications to being willing. So really, one great way to deal with ambivalence, feeling two ways at one time, or not knowing how you feel. Because this is a brilliant part of the definition that I had not included. I've always talked about ambivalence as feeling two ways at one time. I want it, I don't want it. And here's the secret. In our culture, we're taught you have one feeling. How do you really feel about this? As though there should be one feeling. I want it, I don't want it. Even little babies have more than one feeling. They can't tell you about them, but think of a toddler learning to walk. Can you see that They would want to walk themselves. They would want to be independent. And then maybe a very small part of them or a big part of them would wish to be held, would wish to be carried, right? And we're still that way. So what's really, really helpful is to ask yourself what percent of me right at this moment, because it will change, what percentage of me right now would like to work it out with this person? Well, let's say it's 40%. And maybe there's 20% that actively knows they're scary and move away. And then, so that would make it 60%. And then 40% might even be still, I don't know. Who thinks if they knew that about themselves, that they're likely to pursue working it out with this person? Probably not, but it's not so simple as you're unwilling. Now, another day, you might have this feeling like, what if you had a thought that this person got a letter in the mail that they had stage 4 cancer in a very, let's say, pancreatic cancer. And they were not given a long time to live, maybe a week to months. That might change, right? You might say, I'm not going to worry about being scared of them. I'm not going to be worried about their tone of voice. Maybe I would remember that I truly, underneath all the fear and the defenses, maybe I truly love this person so much that I want to do whatever I can to clear away the sticky stuff so that they would know I truly love them. Your willingness would change, probably. Maybe your willingness would be up to 60. Maybe the fear would still be there and be 20. But now we have 60-20. Is there a likelihood that you might venture into this topic? And if we gave ourselves this kind of wisdom, because if it is true that everyone feels more than one way at any given moment, and it may change depending on circumstances, depending on how you slept and what you ate and how generous you feel today, and a million different things. But they're going to be different too. We tend to think of people, especially if it's sticky, that they're going to be the way you've caricatured them to be. They're going to be scary. They're going to be unsafe. They're going to be whatever you thought they were in your establishment of the story. But there's another thing I love about ambivalence. It makes you very accountable. Remember when on another musings I talked about accountability just takes account of what seems to be true right now within ourselves. I did it, I thought it, I felt it. But it's also the wisdom of knowing that feelings and thoughts and actions are capable of change. They are not constants. So remember back to I had the thought, I was willing before I broke it down into my ambivalence. I wasn't lying, but just because I thought it doesn't make it true. If you're seeing that, now you're beginning to know what I mean when I talk about believing your thoughts. Don't believe them. They're not truth with a capital T. Listen, recognize, ooh, look what I'm thinking. Great. Now you have a way to be flexible. I can think something else if this is not truth, and I am committed to being a truth seeker. Now, how much right now am I committed to being a truth seeker? If it's more than 50%, I might tell myself the truth. If it's less than 50%, I'm more than likely to believe my story, which is they're not saying that. Oh, here's the whole story. I'm willing to fix this relationship, but they're the ones who are blocking this by their scary, whatever it is, behavior. Fill in the blank. That's the story. If you believe everything you think, well, then you're at the mercy of your thoughts, and you'll probably add to them, oh, remember when they did this, and oh, all the times they did that, and remember this, and now you will be comforting yourself in your own belief system, your own story. But if you see, oh, yeah, look, I'm looping. Yeah, this is hurtful. It never changes. If you think back to when you've been looping, let's say, should I have this surgery? Should I not? Should I have this surgery? Should I not? And look at all the things that could happen. Oh my God, this could happen. I don't know because of this. I don't know because of that. And then you make a decision. You might think it came from all of that obsessing, but I'm pretty sure that the intervention of deciding you were going to have the surgery didn't come from the looping thoughts. Maybe it came from the overwhelming sensation, the movement from life. Now's the time, do it. But we would think, oh, it came from those thoughts. Most of us never stopped doing what we've always been doing through our thinking, a new thought. We might open. If we open with a thought, then it's different. It's not the thought. That's maybe another topic that might be confusing things. If it does, just let it go. So what is it that I'm saying today? I'm saying, think of yourself with more than one feeling. Be the person who interviews yourself. So now there are two. There's the littlest one inside your head, and I guarantee you that one is very young. It's usually not the person who is evolved that is your highest self that actually is the wisdom character in your life. The little one is the one who goes over and over things and blames everyone else and is stuck in the story. So what does it do? What does it gift you with if you open to your percentages? I'm 40% this and 20% that, or 80-20, or however it is in this moment. First of all, it recognizes change. It recognizes that it's only this minute. There starts to be a caring presence that you are symbolizing, where you're talking to yourself as though there's a grown-up wisdom person that can talk to the young one and can start to use your brain to notice that you're going back to the societal myth that you have only one feeling, or the societal myth that you should trust your thinking. Of course, there's a kind of thinking you do trust. It means stop, there's a red light. It means this might be a good new food to try to add to your nutrition. It's the hurtful thoughts about other people and about yourself that you want to re-examine. You can allow the thoughts that help you get through a day, that organize you. It's the feeling judgmental thoughts that we need this help with. And even the thoughts that guide you to what you think you should be doing. So if I'm 40% afraid of this person that I have a sticky relationship with, and 20% angry with them, and another 10% filled with all the things, the memories of what they've done. But I think a good person is willing to work things out. So I tell myself I'm willing. Do you think I'd save myself a lot of time with those percentages? I would say, don't bother. You're not ready. You're not in a position. And if I say that to myself with kindness, no, not today. I have too many percents that are going to make me more unwilling than willing. It's not the best time. Now, everything could change in a second. Let's say that person approached me and said, hey, I have this diagnosis and I wish to work things out with you. Maybe in a flash, everything would be different. So it's moment by moment, but being accountable, because what does that give us? It gives us presence. We're in truth. We cannot be in presence if we're in the past, if we're in the future, and if we're not being truthful. Truthful to ourselves about where we are. So try it out. See if it offers you something additional to add into your toolbox. Ambivalence and its relationship to willingness. What would you say your conclusions are on that subject? And if you'd like to check out what our group said, because it was a dynamite meeting, It was on January 3rd. Sign up for glimpses to be able to listen in. Thanks, everybody. And if you have any comments, as always, write to me. Bye for now.